Hey, everybody. You are listening to the Sports Perspective Podcast, Episode 4. On today's show, I review the Patriots' victory over the Broncos, 41-16, and I also preview the Patriots versus the Raiders in Mexico City. So, everyone, stay tuned. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today, I am your host, Roy, and I hope everybody is having a great day. It's a little cold here in Massachusetts, so everybody bundle up if you're out and about. First off, I want to talk to you guys about what I did over the weekend. I actually worked a comic convention called Comic Con down in Rhode Island. I don't know if anyone's ever been to a convention, but Comic Con is a convention down in Rhode Island where you come and you meet celebrities. You get to talk to people from movies, TV shows, from the past, future, and present, actually. They had people down there from Stranger Things, people from movies, TV shows, like the Walking Dead TV show, old shows like Buck Rogers, all kinds of things. And they had a lot of events going on. You get to see cosplayers. You get to see collectible items that you can buy. It's a great convention down in Rhode Island. They have it every year in November, and just want to thank the people that run it. Great people. They were awesome. The people that were volunteering, all the volunteers. I myself was a volunteer. Thank you everybody for a great weekend. It was awesome volunteering. It was awesome working with everybody, with the staff. Everybody was awesome. So that's all I wanted to say. I want to thank everybody for that, for the weekend. We had a great weekend. But I want to jump into the news. We got some great news for you guys today. I want to start off with I don't know if you guys heard of Marquise Goodwin. He's a receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. He had a huge touchdown on Sunday. 83-yard touchdown. When he scored the touchdown, he fell on his knees and he kissed the sky. Apparently, what people didn't know was hours before, I guess, his wife had to deliver their 9-week-old baby son. I guess he lost his life, which is very tragic. And his wife encouraged him to play, so he played with a heavy heart. And at least on this show, our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. And you see that, and you think about that for a moment, and it really puts everything into perspective. I went to a convention over the weekend, and here's this person going through something as tragic as this, and it just puts everything in perspective. No matter what's going on in your life, there's always somebody that's having a tough time. So this time of year, with the holidays coming up, everybody think of somebody else, see if you can help somebody. Just keep that in mind. There's always somebody with something going on and someone having a difficult issue, So think of other people this time of year and pay it forward, all right? And one more other quick note of news on the lighter side of this. In the 2018 Pro Bowl voting has begun. The game is Sunday, January 28th. You can vote. And I think everyone should vote for their favorite players. If you even watch the game, whether you watch it or not, you should vote. You can vote at the NFL on Twitter. It is twitter.nfl.com. I'm sorry, twitter.com/NFL. Or you can go online to the NFL.com, and it's pro Bowl vote. So that fast 5 times. So vote for your favorite players. And let's see if you can get your favorite players in the All-Star game, Pro Bowl as it's called. And let's see what happens. So let's get into this Patriots, the Broncos game. I don't know if people watched the game. It was an interesting game. If you stayed up late and watched the whole game, the Broncos actually started really well. They played well in the first series, and it looked like it was like, uh-oh, the defense is playing hard, they're playing tough. They sacked Brady. They held the Patriots to a 3-and-out. They looked really well. But we'll get into that more in a minute. Let's go over some stats. The quarterbacks, Brady, of course, did pretty well. 25 of 34 for 266 yards with 3 touchdowns. Osweiler, paltry 18 for 33 for 221 yards. This is another quarterback that the Patriots defense held under 300 yards. It looked like earlier in the season that they were going to be struggling all year long, giving up long touchdowns, giving up guys wide open all over the field all the time, giving up 300-plus yards for quarterbacks. The defense appears to have settled down a little bit, so that's good to see for the Patriots. In the running game, Lewis carried the ball for 14 times for 555 yards and 1 touchdown. That was on a kick return for a touchdown. And Rex Burkhead had 10 carries for 36 yards with 1 receiving touchdown, and that was a nice play. He was put into the slot, put out wide, actually, and they've been doing that more with their receivers, with all the injuries to the receivers, and it's working out well for them. You would think that teams would start covering that, but we'll see. C.J. Anderson had 10 carries for 54 yards. Jamal Childs had 8 carries for 38 yards. So we did pretty well with the running game. We held them down pretty well, under 100 yards rushing. Our defense is really, really coming around to playing a lot better. We're not running well ourselves. We need to work on that a little bit. But when you have Tom Brady and you're passing the ball a lot, that's to be expected. You expect to pass the ball a lot. Brady is going to be controlling the offense pretty much, as far as when you have Tom Brady on your team, the GOAT, he's going to get most of the action. You're not going to be running the ball a lot when you have the best player on the field as your quarterback. Just not going to happen. So let's get back to the receivers now. And Cooks had 6 receptions for 74 yards. Gronk had 4 receptions for 74 yards. Ironically, both had the same amount of yards. That's kind of interesting. Thomas, for the Broncos, had 5 receptions for 44 yards. And Sanders, oh my goodness, Sanders, had 6 receptions for 137 yards. And I'm going to get more on him in a minute. That's just crazy. And I have some thoughts on that, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Denver, like I said earlier, Denver started off tough. They had a 3-and-out, and then it just went downhill from there. Poor that kid McKenzie. He totally muffs the punt. Patriots recover, and you cannot give the Patriots extra chances. You can't give Brady another shot. You just can't. More times than not, he's gonna make you pay. And sure enough, 2 plays later, Burkhead scores on a touchdown. They spread him out wide, and they did, I don't know if it was a little slant or if it's a crossing pattern, but he was wide open. It was an easy pass for Brady, and he just skipped right in for a touchdown. And having Burkhead or White or even Lewis out wide, it's a big mismatch for the defense. They seem to be putting linebackers on the running backs. Personally, I wouldn't do that. I would put a corner or a safety even. Somebody else but a linebacker. But hey, if they're willing to do that, let them. We'll take the plays. We'll take the easy receptions, So Malcolm Butler, he could not cover Sanders to save his life. I don't know if Butler is losing it or if he's lost something, whether he doesn't have confidence. I don't know if it's just the fact that he's being exposed on defense. Could that be it? Could he be being exposed? Is he not as good as we thought he was? Has he just lost it? Is he hurt? These are questions that need to be answered. I don't know. He has moments where he does pretty well, and then he has these moments where, like last night, for instance, he just didn't do well at all. I mean, what is going on? It's very frustrating with him. He plays well for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you have like Sanders, who runs all over the field, all over him, and just being left wide open. I don't know. But anyway, on the one good sign is Gilmore looked pretty decent playing last night. He did give up the 1 touchdown to Thomas, but I will say Thomas had to make a very, very good catch. That touchdown, he had to reach back for it. So Gilmore's coming around, which is good to see. You paid him all that money, he better start playing well, or he might not be here next year himself. And I'm just happy to see Gilmore playing a lot better. It's good to see. Gilmore's going to be the number one guy, obviously here. As far as Butler, if Butler can just play better, we could have two of the better corners in the league. And if we can get him going in toward the playoffs, the way our offense is playing, if we can get them playing well, because let's face it, I don't know if our front seven is going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So you're going to need, in playoff time, the secondary to step up and cover well to give the defensive line and the linebackers time to get to the quarterback, because I don't think they're going to be able to do it on their own unless we're going to be blitzing a lot, and that could be an issue. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard by now that Martellus Bennett is back in Boston, which is great to see. You know, he was waived last week by Green Bay, told teams through his Twitter not to sign him because he was going to retire and have surgery. Well, that's until the Patriots called. I'm guessing, I heard this and I was like, oh, great. Now we're going to hear collusion. We're going to hear what was up, that the Patriots and him got together and all of a sudden they had a deal worked out or something. And I don't know. I just see something bad coming out of this. I'm not saying the Patriots did anything wrong, and I don't think they did anything wrong, but you look at it on face value, it's like, all right, he wasn't going to play. He was going to retire. Patriots and Belichick calls it, hey, come back to New England. We could use you. Come on. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So he comes back, and he had 3 receptions last night, well, since Sunday night, for 38 yards, so that's good. They can use him in the tight end position, especially if he's going to retire this year. Maybe he'll want to play a little hurt just to toughen up, just to try to get one more ring. Maybe they can get a few games out of him playing well. You know, he has a torn rotator cuff and some labrum damage, so that can't be very pleasant to play with. That has to be pretty painful. But he did have 3 receptions for 38 yards, so we'll see how it goes from here. Hopefully, he can last a year, and maybe we can get another Super Bowl. Maybe he can help us win another big championship. You know, we'll see. Time will tell. And how about our special teams? You know, when's the last time you've seen our special teams block a punt? Thank you, Burkhead. He got in somehow. He got right through the line. I don't know. There's a big hole in the Denver line, and he got through and blocked the punt. Then we have a kick return for a touchdown by Lewis. Then, of course, you have that muffed punt fumble recovery by the Patriots. And I heard during the game that this was the first time this has happened in a game for the Patriots since 1979. You know, that's amazing. That's a long, long time. It was a full team win. You know, it's at the middle of the season, middle of November. This is typically when the Patriots start playing well. They start playing tougher. They toughen up on defense. They start blocking better, passing well, protecting Brady better. Everything just starts to fill in. Everything just starts to come around. So it's good to see. And you like this kind of football as the weather starts turning cold and you start seeing the players getting tougher, the players running the ball better. Just sound football. Patriots football, November, December, January. That's what you need. So, coming up next Sunday, the Patriots have the Raiders at 4:25 on CBS. Now, the Raiders, they're 4-5 in second place in the AFC West. Now, the Raiders coming into the season, if you were to told me that they would be 4-5 in second place in the West, I'd say there's no way. I expected the Raiders and the Patriots to possibly be in the AFC Championship, or the Raiders in Pittsburgh, personally. Those are the three teams that I think are the best teams in the AFC. And along with Kansas City's play this year, obviously, they're playing well also. But I expected the Raiders to play very well. Do I think they're going to continue to play lackluster football? No. I expect a really tough game coming up on Sunday. I think they're going to be ready for the Patriots. They are playing in Mexico City, which I don't understand that at all. I don't know why they're playing a game in Mexico, but whatever. I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for Mexico City. Who knows? Maybe we'll try to get a team down there. The Mexican Burritos. That'd be a good name for a team, huh? I would like that. I can see that happening. Let's check out their offensive stats. For points, they score 21.8 points a game. That's ranked 16th in the league. They have 324.6 yards. That's 22nd in the league. They are passing for 237 yards. That's 15th in the league. And rushing, they're an amazing 87.6. That's 27th in the league. Nothing stands out here. They're middle of the pack, which kind of shows where they are. I don't know. This could be a trap game, I'm telling you. This could really be a trap game. On defense, they give up 23.8 points a game. That's 23rd. They give up 361 yards a game. That's 26th. Passing yards, it's 244, and that's 22nd. Rushing yards, they're giving up 116, that's 21st. I'm telling you, this could really be a trap game. You know, the Patriots have a game every year where you're looking at a team and like, yeah, we should win that game. And I know they're not as bad as the stats show, but I don't know. I could see us losing this game. The Raiders should be very up for this game. They really, really, really should be. They healthy when they're playing right. They're one of the 2 or 3 top teams in the league, but they're struggling. You know, Derek Carr. I love Derek Carr. I'm a big Derek Carr fan. Me personally, I think he's the future star in the league. He's been having hot and cold moments. He's been really good, and then he has plays where it's like, what are you doing, dude? And partly the offensive line, they've sucked royally over the season. I think that's a big issue. The receivers started off poorly. I believe that they're playing a lot better now. Amari Cooper, I love him. I'm a big Amari Cooper fan. Michael Crabtree, he's a touchdown machine. And then you have Jared Cook. I worry about these 3 guys. I think Malcolm Butler, he needs to be on his game this week. He needs to play well. He needs to cover whoever he's covering and stay with them and not let him run all over the field. These guys are a little bigger, so he's going to have to play better than he has played in the last few weeks, that's for sure. You know, and the receivers are starting to play better, so he needs to definitely play better himself. Butler might get picked on a lot in this game. It would be nice to see Butler come away with an interception or 2. I think that could help his confidence. I think he needs something positive to happen. You know, I wonder if it's just in his head now where he's pressing, trying too hard, or is he just not being where he's supposed to be? You know, which could it be? I like Butler. I always have liked Butler. Excuse me. But that being said, he needs to play better. He needs to play more sound, fundamental football. Can he do that? I don't know. I think this is definitely a put up or shut up week for Malcolm Butler. We might find out this week what we have with him for the rest of the season. This could be a big game for him. This really, really could be a big game for him on defense. Now, as far as offensive goes, it all starts with Brady. The way the Patriots offense is playing, you expect them to play well. On defense, the Raiders have Khalil Mack, who has 4.5 sacks, and Mario Edwards, who has 3.5 sacks. Khalil Mack, he can be a beast. A couple of years ago, he was a monster. He was just tearing the whole league apart. Now, can he do that this year? In this game? In Mexico? Sure, why not? Our offensive line is playing better. The game plan this past week, the passing to the running backs, the short passing game, helps a whole lot. When you pass the ball to your running backs or short, quick passes, it's hard for the defensive ends and the defensive line and the blitz to get to the quarterback. When you step back to pass the ball's gone in 3 seconds. Well, you're not going to get many sacks that way. Which leads to the offensive line. They need to be on their game. Dante Scarnecchia has done wonders. Thank goodness for him. Thank God he came back. He has got to be one of the best line coaches, if not one of the best coaches entirely in football. He is, to me, a god among coaches. So as far as this game goes, I think it could be a similar game to last week. Hopefully, the outcome's the same. But time will tell. A key of the game is, again, protecting Brady and not turning the ball over. You can say that every week, though. I think those are obvious things. Defensively, I think we got to keep Carr in the pocket. Carr can move a little bit. When the Patriots tend to have breakdowns is when the quarterback can move and they let him out of the pocket. The ends don't stay in position. They collapse down on the quarterback. In a quarterback that can move a little bit tends to be able to break containment and make some plays. Which goes back to the secondary. Our corners and safeties need to play physical. The Raiders receivers, they're physical receivers. We need to play them back physically. Butler needs to have a chip on his shoulder this week. I don't care if he gets a couple penalties for holding or chipping or getting physical. He needs to get that attitude, that chip on his shoulder, and just start smacking people around. That could turn around his season for him. But that's what I think anyway. Well, guys, I want to thank anyone who's listening. That is the show for today. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or just want to talk, you can email me at sportsperspective17@gmail.com, Facebook, The Sports Perspective, and on Twitter at Roy Brady Jr. And I want to thank you guys for listening, and I apologize again for my voice. I'm still recovering from the cold and from this past weekend at the convention. But I want to thank everyone for listening to the show, and I will see you next week when we go over this game and preview next week's game. So, guys, I want you guys to have a good night and be good to each other.